It looks delicious, it smells delicious, and I can't wait to actually taste how delicious it is. These are the brioche donuts with a honey glaze. Katie's going to be better at describing it though for me, the executive pastry chef here. So tell us about these, Katie.
So the glaze, it's just like caramelized honey, donut glaze. It's pretty straightforward. This one is.
I love it. Okay, and you make how many a day? I mean, because I know it's a limited quantity and they run out. So, any idea?
We make like a dozen to 2 dozen.
Okay.
Depending on the weekend.
Yeah.
Or if it's a weekday.
Well, let's show people how this is, how it's all put together. Okay, so you're gonna dip.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking you were taking that tub and pouring it on top.
It's a lot of fun just to like dip them in there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's our sourdough brioche.
And a donut is typically what? Because it's not typically brioche, right?
It's similar.
Or it can be.
It can be similar to brioche, but we just like to go extra with it and make it really nice.
I feel like that's sort of the thing here, at least with the pastries. Everything is a little bit extra. We saw how large that not French toast look-alike was. So that's kind of the thing, right?
Yeah, that's kind of our thing, is we want it to be memorable and delicious and just, make you happy when you eat it.
I know, and getting outside of pastries, I was here last week, got the Caesar salad wrap. I mean, talk about going like above and beyond. That thing is huge.
Yeah, that's a favorite in my family too.
Yeah.
My mom comes like once a week to get it.
Get the Caesar salad wrap.
It's so good, yeah.
Okay, so for people who are planning for the holiday, you guys have some pies that you're making. Tell us about what people could get their hands on.
So we have 4 scratch-made pies. We have an apple, pumpkin, a sweet potato pecan, and then a gluten-free chocolate cream pie.
And do they need to get their orders in like ASAP?
Yeah, the last day to order is Saturday.
Okay, you guys prepare to be jealous of me. Bon appetit.
Now I'm gonna make her talk with her mouth full because I need to know, is that a flaky salt on top?
Salt on top too.
It is a flaky salt on top.
Filling in the blanks
so
there.
sweet and
This is really good.
I'm really into that. That looks delicious.
That sounds so yummy. All right, Blakely, I want you to enjoy that for us, and if you feel so inclined, bring one back anyway. All right, we'll see you in a little bit, Blakely.
Stick around, we'll be back after this break.
You're watching WLKY News.
This morning, we are live on the ground with an update on that massive cleanup following the deadly UPS plane crash.
It's now ticking for the Justice Department to release the Epstein files. I'm Rachel Hersheimer at the White House with what may delay that process.
Help us in this time of need.
Well, this 9-year-old is helping to feed families in his own neighborhood. He shares what inspired him to do it. Hey, welcome back. Good morning to you. It feels like it's been a pretty wet and dreary week.
Yeah, it hasn't been great. I think that, we had some heavy rain, stuck in the clouds a little bit, and gonna see even more rain today.
Yesterday and today, I feel like the overall theme of the forecast is woof.
Yeah.
Like, it was not great yesterday.
Soakers 2 days ago. Yesterday just stayed cloudy with that mist and drizzle. It just had that damp feel, even though it wasn't a ton of rain out there. And that's going to be the same today, at least through the morning. We'll add back in some showers into the afternoon, and we're going to stay stuck in the clouds. We're in the 40s right now, and as we head into the peak of the morning rush at 47, we're going to be slow to climb. We get towards 50 degrees midday, but notice we start to increase some shower chances as we get closer to and into the afternoon. So just be aware of that. It all looks light. It's building from a system out to the west that's going to head our way. It's definitely steadier rain right now into portions of Missouri. By the time it gets to us, some light, maybe a few steadier showers into central and southern Kentucky, but overall, we're not talking anything heavy in today's skies. We have a lot of low-hanging clouds, fog and overcast out there, and again, a little bit of mist or drizzle across the region with temperatures 46, 47 degrees right now. And just a very slow climb to highs near 52 today. So we'll carry some of that drizzle into some afternoon showers. Tomorrow, some soakers across the area. Rain's going to be likely. It's a little milder at 60 degrees, but it is going to be an impact weather day. And on our Saturday, we trend a bit drier after some morning showers and temperatures in the 50s with more sunshine by the afternoon. It'll be nice to see the sun once again, but that again holds off until the weekend. All right, that's the latest on the skies. It is 6:33 now. Mo Rose, you're up in traffic. What's going on out there? Any spots to watch?
Well, we do have a stalled semi and some construction that might slow you down. So first, we're going to start over on that semi. That's over on 64 West on the ramp from Blankenbaker Parkway. It's right near the bottom of that ramp, right before you hop onto 64 West. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you'll be able to see that taking up that whole right shoulder. We are also watching 65 southbound. Take a look. A lot of crowding here. So they have you down a lane in this neck of the woods. This is on 65 South in Bullitt County from Ohm Drive to the Welcome Center. So it's about a mile stretch where you're down a lane. And this is just construction they've been doing during the middle of the week. The last month or so. They've started on 65 North. Now they're on 65 South. This should clear by 3 o'clock this afternoon, but just in the last few days, we've seen some very big delays, especially as we get later in the morning. So we'll keep an eye on that one for you. But again, that should clear up by 3 o'clock this afternoon. Ladies, back to you.
Thank you, Mo. Right now, the clock is ticking in Washington to release the Epstein files. Overnight, Trump's signature triggered a countdown for the DOJ to reveal that massive batch of documents tied to the crimes. The DOJ charged Epstein with sex trafficking underage girls before he died by suicide, awaiting trial.
Meantime, his partner Ghislaine Maxwell is serving decades in prison for charges related to Epstein's case. Our Rachel Hersheimer is in Washington with a look at what happens next.
The Justice Department has a month to release these files, and Attorney General Pam Bondi was pressed about what will come out and when, but she was non-committal about what to expect.
We will continue to follow the law with maximum transparency while protecting victims.
The resolution Congress passed allows Bondi to withhold information about victims, obscene material, or evidence that could compromise national defense or foreign policy. However, she has to report anything withheld. This matter could also be complicated or delayed, as President Trump directed the Justice Department to investigate Epstein's ties to prominent banks and Democrats. Earlier this year, the Justice Department said it did not have evidence to open new Epstein-related investigations, but changed course last week at the president's direction. Now, the files could also be part of that active probe and not released because of it. If the files are not published, a law professor tells us that Congress could hold the Justice Department in contempt of Congress, but it is unlikely that will happen because the DOJ would have to file charges against itself. At the White House, Rachel Hersheimer, WLKY News.
Rachel, thank you. This morning, we are learning more about the massive multi-agency effort to clean up the remnants of the deadly UPS plane crash.
Yeah, crews from MSD have been working for a while now to clean up the water impacted by the disaster. Our Sam Carter live near the crash site this morning on Gray Lane with more on that cleanup effort. Sam, this is a large area.
Yeah, a really large area focusing on 3 spots of Pond Creek, about a 4.5-mile radius, and that's after about 16 days since the crash, and MSD crews have been out here the majority of those days trying to clean up. Now, according to them, about 900,000 gallons and other runoff of oily material that is in those waterways. To put that number in some kind of perspective for you, an Olympic swimming pool has about 600,000 gallons of liquid in it. Now, all of this is in the southwest of Louisville. The containment site runs from near the crash site in the Melco Basin to the area near about Nick Rodman Legacy Park. Now, crews are using specialized tools like skimmers and booms to contain the potentially hazardous waste in the waterways. And the good news here is that MSD says about 95% of what was spilled, that's been contained. But it could be months before it's totally finished with that portion of the cleanup. And according to MSD, recent weather has actually helped them. But as the weather drops, some challenges could lay ahead.
The benefit of the rain is that it will help flush some of these contaminants to points where they can be collected and removed. So, it's I won't say the most challenging piece is behind us, but as weather gets colder, that creates challenges for workers and people responding.
Now, just a couple of quick notes here. I mentioned the term boom. That's one of the specialized tools they're using to clean up. Think about it as kind of a net and a sponge combined, surrounding the area and then absorbing some of it so MSD can get in there and clean it up. And another really important note, if you live in the area, unless you have been alerted by Louisville Water, officials say your water is safe to drink. On Gray Lane, Sam Carter, WLKY News.
Thank you, Sam. We've got a major health alert you need to know about. The number of infant botulism cases tied to this baby formula have doubled. It is from the company ByHeart, and the recall has expanded to all of the company's formula products now. The FDA has gotten reports the formula is still being found on some store shelves. No deaths have been reported, but 31 infants have gotten sick across 15 states. That includes Kentucky. If you have any of ByHeart's products, throw them away immediately.
Right in the heart of the medical district downtown, a new public park is open, and city leaders in Louisville say it's more than just a green space. Shaquille Lord is live in studio with details on LouMed Commons. Shaq, who do leaders, expect to use this?
Yeah, Alex, the space is designed for anyone who works, study, receives, or visits the downtown medical campus. Now, if the area looks familiar, it's the old jail site. On Wednesday, city and state leaders gathered to celebrate this grand opening. State leaders allocated $100 million in this year's budget specifically to support downtown Louisville revitalization, including $10 million for LouMed Commons.
Of our city's ability to get things done, to use state funds wisely, to invest in our community that will create even more activity, more economic activity, more medical activity, more activity that moves our city and state forward. And I think it just shows that investing in Louisville is a good investment for the entire state of Kentucky.
And LouMed Commons includes space for food trucks and to host public events. In the studio, I'm Shaquille Lord. Carol will send it over to you.
Shaq, thank you. Hey, check it out. Churchill Downs just unveiled the official mint julep glasses and artwork for the 152nd Kentucky Derby and Oaks. Hopefully we'll see him in a minute. Kentucky artist Grayson Reynolds designed the art of the Kentucky Derby. It shows 5 thoroughbreds leaving the starting gate beneath the twin spires. Okay, use your imagination, okay? The annual mint julep glass features 3 horses racing through a sea of roses. You can snag a signed print of the artwork at Churchill Downs next Friday.
They really are beautiful. We'll put that online so you can actually see it this morning. Well, hey, shoppers, you can breathe a little easier this holiday. You have more time to return those gifts on Amazon this year. The company is expanding its return window to make buying online as seamless as possible. Most items bought through December 31st can be returned through January 31st of next year, as long as they're in original or unused condition. A few exceptions apply, like Apple branded products, which must be returned by January 15th.
Well, this could give you a hint at where you may save some money. Economic reports dropping today could sway the Fed's next rate decision. The data includes home sales, mortgage rates, and the long-awaited September jobs numbers. That last one is especially important since the government shutdown delayed the release. Sources say Feds have been leaning more toward keeping rates steady next month since rates were cut twice this year. Well, as families everywhere struggle to make ends meet, one third grader in Charlestown is making a big difference this holiday.
This is really cool. 9-year-old Paxton Aldridge created what he calls God's Way Blessings Box. The small pantry sits outside First Baptist Charlestown for families that can take or even leave food. Paxton says he wanted to help after hearing some of his neighbors didn't have enough food. The box has only been up for a week and it's already being stocked daily with groceries.
God got his way into my heart to help me build this, to help children to not starve at night.
Well, Paxton is expanding his mission by launching a turkey drive. If you would like to help, just visit our website, WLKY.com. Way to go, Paxton.
Good job, young man. Yes, let's talk a little bit about the weather as the kids get ready for school. Cloudy, bit misty out there, kind of like yesterday is how we're starting today at 46. It'll be a little more than some mist. A couple of showers possible as we head into the afternoon. I don't think it washes out the day, but we'll have some showers and highs only near 52. So the clouds keep us from climbing too much. We'll be a little milder tomorrow, but the rain will be soaking. I'm talking impact weather in our Friday skies. Plus we peek ahead to the weekend and Thanksgiving in your 7-day coming up when we come back.
All right, Louisville's Bats are getting a little steamy. We'll explain how their temporary name change is still a nod to our city. But first, checking back in with Blakely.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We're at Grail Goods this morning. We've been showing you all of their pastry items, but now we're cooking up something else in the kitchen. Stick around to see what it is.
You're watching WLKY News.
Welcome back. The Louisville Bats are getting a new name next season, at least for a few weeks. So say hello to the Louisville Humidity. There's Jay Cardosi in a jersey back there. They brought him in to help make it official. They got this idea from a Bats staffer who wanted to celebrate our steamy summers back when the team was rebranding. Now, it didn't stick as a full-time name, but the Humidity will hit the field 5 times next season.
The Louisville Humidity.
Humidity.
Okay.
Not the heat, not the swamp. I kind of like the swamp.
I like the little swamp.
Yeah.
It's funny because if you've ever lived in a more humid environment than here, you would know it ain't that bad.
It could be worse.
It could be worse.
Yeah, it could be worse.
I grew up in Houston, Texas. It's on par with Orlando, Alabama, Mississippi, whatever you want to call it. And so when we have our most humid days here, I'm kind of like, yeah, this isn't fun.
Yeah.
And then it goes away, and I'm like, yes, this is why.
Yeah, because we get breaks. We get
Valley.
breaks in our humidity, whereas
typically.
some places don't.
Yeah, I like to think of that time of year as swampy. So
if you've headed out to some Bats games in July and
Definitely
August,
is.
you know it's like, my goodness,
Just
the
sweating the whole
sunshine
time.
and the sweat
It's hot,
and the humidity. So yeah, those jerseys will go well. I'm jealous that Jay got one.
I know.
All right, man.
Oh, man.
Have to go search the weather office and see if he left it there. All right, let's talk a little bit about our weather today. 40s to start out this morning. We're stuck in the clouds. From those clouds, a little bit of mist or drizzle out there across the area. It's very light, but you'll notice it. We're 50 degrees midday. Couple of showers head our way through about the first half of the afternoon in town. They'll linger a little later off towards the south. But as we get later in the day, highs only near 52 today. So we're stuck in the clouds. The numbers don't move too much through the day with the lack of sunshine. There's the rain coming in from the west. I think some of those peak opportunities from about the lunch hour to about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then as we get later in the day, they're kind of centered along and south of the parkway. So southern Kentucky sees a little longer duration of some rain. Most amounts are less than 1/10 of an inch. You could get 1/4 of an inch in our far southern communities where the rain holds on longer, but it's generally on the light side. As we move into tonight, a lot of clouds, maybe a patchy area of light rain, but it's steadier rain that moves in on a Friday. As impact weather comes back into our skies, this is mainly just some soaking wet weather, perhaps a few rumbles of thunder, but that's going to be about it. And even as we head into our Friday evening plans, all the way through early Saturday morning, we're still on the wet side, but we'll dry out Saturday afternoon. We're going to have some sunshine at 57, full sunshine on Sunday. Chilly start at 41, but highs ramp up to 60 degrees. That'll be nice. 61 and dry.